What is up, everybody? My name is Advance, and this is Advance Sports Talk. So, UFC 285 concluded last night, and it is in the books. And I gotta tell you, this was one of the best cards that they had in a few months. So, look, let's get into it. I'm gonna briefly run down the entire card because every single fight on this card was a certified banger. No pun intended. So, look, all right. First off, starting off, Bo Nickal versus Jamie Pickett. Bo Nickal won by submission. Next up, Mateusz Gamrot versus my man Jalen Turner. Unfortunately, this was Jalen Turner's main card debut because he usually dominates the prelims, but he finally got ranked at number 10, and he got a rough welcome to the top 10. So this is he's got a lot to learn. Now, how this fight went was Jalen is a very good striker, but at the same time, where despite the fact that he had knockdowns in this fight, Gamrot took him down. Now, granted, even though Jalen dropped him a couple of times, but Gamrot was able to take him down, and he was able to do something else that I talk about on this channel. He implemented time of control, right? So with him controlling the he controlled the fight. So that's that. And unfortunately, fight ended up going to decision, and Jalen ended up losing by decision. So the sun is offensive. There we go. So with him losing by decision, of course, that's it was I don't know if it was unanimous or if it was split or what, but the first thing that jumped out in my mind was that first round, because even though Jalen was landing some pretty significant strikes, he wasn't the takedown and the time of control is what did it in for him. All right, so next, Geoff Neal versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. So this was another one where it was a case of hands versus grappling. And, Geoff Neal had the hands, but Rakhmonov, every time his game plan, every time he got hit, clinch, strike, or he would clinch and knee and just do knees to the body and whatnot. So that was, so that's how he ended up winning the fight. Eventually he worked his way to a submission. All right, now, next one, the co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. So this was this fight, look, you can say it's barbaric, but a lot of these women go hard. Me and Slim was actually talking about this last night. Well, anytime that she's on a card, he always calls her Vegeta, because she's the only one that's strong enough to really stand up and give Nunes a problem, but can't really beat Nunes. So but man, so what happened in this fight? This was pretty much it's a textbook example of what happens when you follow your coaching and follow your game plan. So at a point during the fight, because this was going back and forth, they was both throwing shots at each other. Shevchenko hurt Grasso hurt Shevchenko, and it just went back and forth. But it was a pivotal moment in the fight when Shevchenko, or Valentina, threw a reverse heel kick, a mule kick or back kick or whatever, or it was a spinning back kick, and Grasso game plan for that, because I think that's one of her signature moves. So she game planned for that, and she was able to avoid the kick and jump on her back and land in a rear naked choke. And when she jumped on Valentina's back, she went top heavy, face went into the mat. And yeah, bro. So once that happened, that disoriented her and pretty much eliminated any chance of her fighting out of that rear naked choke. Because then you got to get your wits back about you, find out what the fuck is happening to you, and then like, yeah. So of course, by the time she came to, she ended up locking it in, and yeah, Shevchenko subbed her, submitted her. No, not Shevchenko. Grasso ended up getting the submission, the submission victory. All right, now the meat and potatoes of this video. Jon Bones Jones versus Ciryl Gane for the UFC Heavyweight Championship. And this pay-per-view was both monumental and controversial at the same time, because this was the return of Jon Jones after nearly a 3-year layoff, whereas when he last defended the light heavyweight title, he vacated it to move up to heavyweight. So he moved up to heavyweight because he was supposed to fight Stipe Miocic. And once he got up there, it just so happened that Ngannou was the #1 contender. And Ngannou knocked Stipe out and won the belt. So at that point, that's what started a series of contract negotiations on both sides, because Ngannou was in on that too, because he was he was like debating his contract. Jones couldn't come to a decision with Dana. Dana couldn't come to a decision with Ngannou. So that led to Ciryl Gane being named interim champion after he beat Tai Tuivasa. I think it was Tai Tuivasa. I don't know. I can't look it up right now. But yeah, that led to Ciryl Gane being named interim champion. Ngannou then went to fight Ciryl Gane because I guess they finally figured it out. And he said, all right, well, screw it. I'm just going to bet on me. And Ngannou took a big chance. And of course, he ended up thoroughly dominating Ciryl Gane throughout all 5 rounds. And hold on, I'm gonna get into that in a second. Then there was the rumblings of Jon Jones possibly coming back, and then it was like, all right, well, they couldn't get it done. Ngannou, through various contract negotiations, couldn't get a deal done with Dana, so he decided to leave UFC, and now Jon Jones is back. So all right, so yeah, so of course, with Francis leaving, vacated the title, it automatically is a toss-up between the #1 and #2 contenders, which was Ciryl Gane and Jon Jones. How that happened, I have no idea. Because Jon Jones hadn't had a... Well, no, it's Jon Jones. Jon Jones was supposed to fight the champion. So, there you go. Because it was supposed to be a super fight. But I was coming into this, the real factor of this fight was going to be whether Jon Jones was in shape and what type of camp did he have. So, because now when he came in, he looked a little flabby, but it was just enough of an outline, and you know, that's Jon Jones, you know. So yeah, so we was concerned because I still picked him to win, because I haven't seen really enough from Ciryl Gane to really have any confidence in him, you know, to win this match. Now, granted, Gane is a problem to deal with for most heavyweights. most. And that's like top 3 and under, you know, or like bottom 6, I should say, or bottom 4. You know what I'm trying to say. So he's a yeah, because he's mobile, he's conditioned, you know, he's a very well all around, he's a well-rounded, balanced fighter. But at the same time, I watched him get out wrestled by a guy that doesn't wrestle. We can debate whether he had Usman in his corner later or not. But, you know, and of course, Francis Ngannou is just like freakishly strong. Shit, he spent his life working in a sand mine. So, yeah. Those pictures are actually on his Facebook page right now. But in any case, yeah, so I was concerned about Gane coming into this fight, because I was like, all right, so he's in fact, me and Slim was talking about this too. I said he's under a lot of pressure to win this fight. And he's like, no, he's not under any pressure. He's expected to lose. I'm like, yeah, but see, the thing is like, if he loses this fight, then it's going to question him being number 1 contender or number 2 contender or whatnot. But, you know, like, so I don't know. But let's get to the fight. So what ended up happening, bell rings automatically, off rip, kick to the nuts. Now, Gane, knowing the type of person Gane is, I'm pretty sure that it was an accident. But after that, it was on and popping. Johnny Bones started throwing shots. Eventually, halfway, about a minute and a half into the round, he caught him with that bear hug, rode him, made him carry his weight, worked his way into a guillotine. Tyron Woodley, watch this fight and see how a guillotine is properly applied. And got the submission. First round sub. And yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, Johnny Bones is back. And you know, now he's the GOAT. You know, he's been saying the GOAT's back. And now the next fight that he's looking for is the fight that he initially came up to heavyweight for initially, Stipe Miocic, who was in attendance. So, yeah, we're going to see. But, in any case, put your comments down below. Let me know what you thought about Jon Jones' miraculous or marvelous return to the UFC. How did you think? Who did you pick to win? Did you pick Jon Jones to win? Did you side with my dog? Did you, yeah, or did you think that Ciryl Gane was finally going to get over this hump? Put your comments down below. Let me know. Next 2 pay-per-views, back-to-back, we got Usman with the rematch against Leon Edwards. And it was that's UFC 286 and the UFC 287. Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Technically, this would be 2, but this is the 4th fight in their series across 2 sports. So we got Edwards Usman 3 and Pereira Adesanya 2. All right, and we can talk about that one as well. Put your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'm out.